This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News, when it comes to learning and fun, the chemistry is just right at the Concordia Science Academy.
27 new athletic recruits are joining the herd at NDSU's signing day.
A group of students at Concordia College are chasing the corncob crown while raising money for a good cause.
But first, Fargo police strike down rumors after an NDSU student autopsy results are released. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Jordan Schreier.
And I'm Ariana Babcock.
Moorhead police are striking down rumors about the death of North Dakota State University freshman Tom Bierson and asking the public for help. This week in a press conference, official gave an update on the death of the 18-year-old, last seen Saturday, September 20th, leaving a party in Fargo. 3 days later, his body was found outside of an RV dealership in Moorhead, Minnesota. Moorhead Police Chief Dave Eminger shot down several rumors saying Bierson did not overdose on drugs or die of alcohol poisoning, and he was not a confidential informant for the police.
One of the rumors that we wanted to dispel on this is mutilation. Given some of the way out comments that are made on the web, there's no indication of mutilation in this.
While they don't have any definite leads, Eminger wants to remind the community how seriously officers are taking Bierson's death.
It disturbs us. Our students are generally safe. We take care of the young people who come into our community, and we're gonna resolve this to the best of our ability, and we're putting a lot of resolution and a lot of resources into concluding this case.
Police say Bierson's full autopsy provided investigators with new information, but will not be released as it could compromise the investigation. A recent string of crimes in the Fargo-Moorhead area has some students worried about their safety.
Reporter Haley Warnicki tells us the truth about crime in our area.
While students are walking to the gym at night, exercise isn't the only thing on their minds.
It's getting to be uncomfortable walking around campus by yourself, especially at night.
I thought it was pretty safe at first, but now it's like, oh, what's going on here? Moorhead's starting to step up their game.
In the past year, Minnesota State University Moorhead has had 2 sexual assault cases on campus, a high-speed chase, and a robbery a block from campus.
I believe the crime has increased, yeah.
While some students feel the crime has increased, Fargo police say the numbers are actually down.
When we look at our 2014 crime rate, we are trending downward. We ended the year overall down with overall crime. What people oftentimes see is the perception that crime is up due to some high-profile crimes that we've had in their community, and that certainly is understandable.
Despite the actual numbers, some students still find ways to stay safe.
I always know which routes to take, at night in well-populated areas.
The number of crime cases may be down, but that doesn't stop some students from making sure their guard is up. With photographer Louis Johnson, Haley Warnicki, Campus News.
Fargo police advise students to travel in groups to avoid dangerous situations. MSUM Public Safety is in the running to receive a grant from Stanley Security with the hopes of having enough votes to win. The school receiving the most votes could win a $100,000 grant. While voting ends today, the winner will be announced March 3rd. MSUM Public Safety Officer Shane Kelly says a grant like this would upgrade campus security features.
It'd be awesome. It'd be a lot of money for a lot of good stuff that we could use. Our security systems aren't, inadequate, but more money is better.
Students can vote via Twitter, text message, or on the Stanley Security website.
A budget threat from Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton has those in Minnesota State colleges and universities saying they are confident differences will be resolved. Dayton says no new funding will be given to MSUM until faculty and administration resolve their disputes. The action follows an ongoing conflict beginning last fall with Chancellor Stephen Rosenstone's controversial initiative called Charting the Future. College and university faculty unions pulled out of the initiative. They called the proposal a blanket approach to education and said it lacked transparency.
Governor Dayton said, essentially kind of said, I will turn this car around, and said you guys need to come to some sort of consensus here. It was a brilliant move on Dayton's part, as far as really kind of bringing the parties together.
This comes as Minnesota is projected to have an approximately $1 billion budget surplus.
When a college student is offered anything for free, they normally jump on the idea. So what about free school? President Barack Obama recently proposed the idea of free 2-year community college.
Reporter Sarah Erickson went to M-State in Moorhead to see how the proposal would affect the college and its students.
While Grant Lexon cuts his board, the government is hoping to cut college spending. Grant is a student at M-State and is currently enrolled in the carpentry program, and he says he's enjoying his college experience.
Just being able to interact, more practical working. I like being able to have this type of environment where you can just work with your hands, learn on your feet, visualize, more visual learning.
It's students like Grant who would be affected by the president's proposal, but he thinks just because it's free doesn't mean students put as much energy into school.
I wouldn't expect them to really put as much effort into it.
Something that's given to you free, you want to make sure that everyone who gets that free thing values that and puts the time into the studies.
M-State's Student Services Officer believes Obama's proposal would help relieve some of the worries that students and their parents have about paying thousands for college.
Anything that helps remove barriers for students to access education and receive training that will take them further in life is a good thing.
In the future, things could be looking up for 2-year community colleges, but here at M-State, some students are unsure about it.
They just cut out all the funds, just making it free. What's gonna, what money is gonna support that?
As Grant continues to work on his bookshelf, Obama's proposal remains a work in progress. With photographer Darby Fike, Sarah Erickson, Campus News.
The $60 billion proposal would be a federal-state partnership with states paying about half of the cost.
One Devils Lake professor is using her own words to save her students thousands. Assistant biology professor Michelle Murphy decided to write her own textbooks and give them to her students for free. Murphy noticed her students at Lake Region State College were constantly buying new editions of textbooks and wanted to save them money. There has been a push by the State Board of Higher Education to fund the College Open Textbook Collaborative. This would allow students to access free textbooks online. More than 200 colleges are part of the project. Elementary school students around the Fargo-Moorhead area are getting excited for science.
Reporter Tyrell Philly tells us how Concordia's after-school program has some little scientists getting their hands dirty.
Fire, bugs, and hovercraft. The Concordia Science Academy is a pint-sized scientist's dream. For nearly a decade, Concordia College of Moorhead has been fascinating school kids with an interactive and educational science academy. Dr. Graham R.A. Wiley, an assistant professor at Concordia, coordinates the after-school academy.
And our main goal is really, let's give kids a positive hands-on science experience, something that's educational and entertaining.
The program reaches many growing minds and emphasizes introducing science at a young age.
So we reckon the last couple of years, we've targeted between 1,000 and 1,200 kids every year. But I mean, we want to get these kids inspired about science.
Activities deliver lessons on biology, chemistry, and physics.
One of my mottos is basically science for everyone. Everyone has that potential to be a scientist. And some of it is just a matter of giving them a really cool hands-on experience to inspire them, to get them wanting to learn.
The Academy has some students enthused about their new favorite subject.
Did you learn a lot about science?
Yeah.
Does it have you excited to learn even more about science?
Yeah. It seems that when it comes to kids and learning, there's a natural chemistry. With photographer Nikki Nowen, Tyrell Philly, Campus News.
Concordia has 4 more Science Academy events scheduled ending on March 24th.
More than 200 producers and ag specialists showed up for an NDSU Extension Service workshop that was all about weeds. Attendees spent their time learning about new herbicides and techniques to maximize weed control, while analyzing weed samples and taking quizzes based off of what they learned. Associate Professor Kirk Howitt says being able to identify common weeds in the area is a crucial part of agriculture. Without proper identification, farmers wouldn't know which herbicide to apply.
you know, back when we had more new herbicides, it was a very efficient way for us to get information out about those new products. And as we have fewer and fewer new products, now the information is targeted more towards maximizing the effectiveness of the products that we have available.
Howitt says a majority of the weeds on display are common in the Red River Valley. This is the 17th annual Weed Workshop. While it's common to see squirrels, birds, and dogs around campus, one university may have a boa constrictor on the loose. At Castleton State College in Vermont, a 4-foot-long snake is nowhere to be found. The snake was last seen in its cage at the university's zoology lab. University officials sent out a campus-wide email warning students to look out for the snake. It is reportedly harmless and trained to only eat frozen dead mice. Administrators are still investigating how the reptile got out. It wasn't your typical performance of Beyoncé's 7-Eleven that drew a crowd to Concordia College.
Reporter Andy Weston shows us how some students danced and sang across the stage with their eyes on the corn at the Mr. Concordia contest.
People from the Fargo-Moorhead area packed into the Centrum Auditorium to witness the competition between 6 Concordia students, all vying for the title of Mr. Concordia. The night was a combination of entertainment and fundraising as proceeds went to help the YWCA.
For every 16 people in this room, you're sponsoring a night of shelter for a woman or a child. So that's several nights of shelter.
The event was organized by the Lambda Delta Sigma sorority that was happy to see so many people come out and support such a great cause.
We wouldn't have been able to do that without all of your guys' help.
By attending and showing support, spectators were treated to talents of all kinds as the contestants competed to show off their Cobber pride. By the end of the night, the panel had made their decision, and Nathan Lindgren, the next Mr. Concordia, was crowned. Mr. Concordia was surprised and joyed to have won, but was also happy to see the night's events helping to support what he feels is a good cause. Andy Weston, Campus News.
All proceeds from the event went to the YWCA, an organization dedicated to helping women in need. One fraternity at MSUM decided to bring the vibrance and excitement of a casino to one of their spring 2015 Rush events.
Veronica Utek tells us how the men of Kappa Sigma were dealing up a good time.
Here in the CMU, Kappa Sigma is shuffling cards and getting to know potential pledges for their expanding brotherhood.
Tonight is our annual casino night event. Basically, we do this every Rush. Rush is our formal recruitment, basically, getting new members. We do one every spring, every fall, and we kind of like to capstone it with just a casino royale, you know, getting people in, having some fun with the casino games.
Casino night is also a good excuse to break out their formal attire.
It's always a fun night to get out, you know, a reason to wear our suits and look, you know, like gentlemen. And I would not be myself if I didn't take up that opportunity.
Their organization is also near and dear to their heart.
I came to casino night, and it was one of the events that really said that I want to be in Kappa Sigma. I learned a lot at it, and it's a really good opportunity to meet most of the guys.
We'll play card games, blackjack, Texas Hold'em, and it's just a good time. We get some chips, and then we have prizes in the end. It's a great way to socialize because you get to sit down and talk to new possible recruits.
Members are really aiming high for their personal goals too.
Sigma's one of our main mottos is to always reach for the stars and go farther than we can imagine.
But their goal for tonight was simply to have some fun and win a few hands. Photographer Nick Broadway and Veronica Utek, Campus News.
Their next step in the Rush process is handing out bids to their potential new members.
College students constantly struggle to find the study technique that works best for them. For one student at Florida State University Gainesville, art is all she needs to get into study mood. While other students crammed the library with flashcards and checklists, Wang Trong wrote her notes on a whiteboard to form a replica of Van Gogh's Starry Night. The buzz of her masterpiece quickly made its way around campus and social media. Trong said her creative approach to studying helps her stay awake and better understand the material. She plans to keep making similar drawings around the library. College campuses usually go hand in hand with learning, and at MSUM, they're bringing in a much younger crowd.
Reporter Tyrell Philly tells us how kids are seeing Big Bird on a big screen of a different kind.
It's a quiet Sunday at Minnesota State University Moorhead, unless you're at the college's planetarium. Here, the usual silence is broken by a group of kids excited to see some familiar faces and maybe learn a thing or two. Dozens of families will see One World, One Sky, a special show that teaches kids all about the solar system and different cultures using some of their favorite Sesame Street characters. The events are organized and run by Sarah Schultz, the planetarium's coordinator.
How many of you have ever been to the planetarium before? Raise your hand if you've ever been to the planetarium before.
The shows are very popular and enjoyed by kids of all ages.
So we have a lot of K through 6 classes that come through. Our capacity is about 60. But generally we kind of squeeze a few more in, especially when, we've got little kids.
The planetarium features 3 shows a week, and many viewers are repeat customers.
We loved the show. He said, I'm so glad I got to come to this again.
Families like to have a place to take their kids, that's out of the cold, especially in the winter. And it's educational and it's fun for them.
While viewers say they have a lot of fun at the planetarium, its best lesson is that when it comes to learning,
that's right, good job!
The sky's the limit. Tyrell Philly, Campus News.
PBS will be at the planetarium on February 22nd for a special family event.
College students spend a lot of time trying to get to class, work, or a friend's place. Beginning this spring, NDSU students will have a new way to pedal around. Great Northern Bicycle, a bike shop in Fargo, has been working to bring a bike share program to the area. The bicycles will be placed at 11 docking stations, some at NDSU's downtown campuses.
There's been a committed group of people who've been excited and kind of moving forward the idea of a bike share program, and it's finally happening. We have 101 bikes here, and the connection to Great Northern is they won the bid to build the bikes, so they're going to be building and maintaining our fleet throughout the summer.
NDSU students will ride for free while members of the public have to purchase a membership to ride. Great Northern Bicycle plans to set up the docking stations this March if the weather permits.
And now we turn it over to Shaylee Meyer for a look at this week's sports.
Shaylee, busy week at NDSU as some high schoolers committed to the herd.
Yeah, after 4 straight titles, I think they're hoping to keep up the winning tradition. North Dakota State University signed 27 players to join the Bison football team next season. Second-year coach Chris Kleiman announced the recruits on National Signing Day. One recruit signing closer to home is safety Robbie Grimsley from Minnesota. The Hutchinson native was named Minnesota's 2014 Mr. Football. Another recruit signing farther from home is Trent Mooney from Lamar, Missouri. The 6'5", 255-pound offensive tackle is a 3-year starter and led his high school team to 4 state titles in 4 seasons. Coach Kleiman says there is a reason they got such good recruits.
If you don't have the family atmosphere and you don't have people that genuinely care, you're probably not going to be successful. And our staff genuinely cares, and I know those parents of those kids, as well as the recruits, know that our coaches genuinely care about them.
The Bison recruited 12 players from Minnesota, along with players from Missouri, California, and Florida. And over at MSU Moorhead, the Dragons have upped their game by offering more scholarships. On signing day, MSUM's football program locked in 31 new recruits. Many of them are receiving scholarships now that the Dragons have more money to offer. Since taking over in 2011, head coach Steve Lockway has nearly doubled the amount of scholarship money for his team. In his first season, Lockway had $132,000. That's only enough for about 9 scholarships. That total keeps on growing. Lockway is expecting around $384,000, enough for 24 scholarships for his team in 2015. For most student athletes, school, studying, and sports jam-pack their schedules. But one Concordia hockey player finds time to give back to the community. Patrick Herbert tells us more about how Max Smith is helping kids with sports dreams of their own.
For Concordia College junior Max Smith, the hockey rink isn't just a place to practice. The rink helped shape Smith's idea for the InSports Foundation. The foundation has provided scholarships to help offset youth sport costs, hosted camps, and held 2 benefits for hockey players battling cancer.
This opportunity may not have been available for them without InSports and without all the people who are involved in InSports.
Smith is one of 15 college hockey players nominated for the Bank of New York Mellon Hockey Humanitarian Award. The award recognizes players making a difference in the lives of others.
It really, at the end of the day, it's just knowing that, you know, a bunch of college kids pretty much are doing something to help the community, and it's just so great to see that.
InSport's current goals include reaching 10,000 kids in the next 3 years and helping the foundation grow.
I really think that for this to go nationwide and be able to take this concept of, you know, doing fundraising events to provide scholarships for kids in all sports across the country is kind of really the main goal and the vision that I see. Just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces is really rewarding.
Smith is now leaving an impact beyond the ice. Patrick Herbert, Campus News Sports.
Finalists for the award will be announced later this month. A ceremony for the winner will be held at the 2015 NCAA Men's Frozen Four in Boston on April 10th. For the third straight year, the North Dakota State University softball team has claimed the preseason #1 ranking in the Summit League. Head coaches gave the team 6 of the possible 7 first-place votes, totaling 36 points in the preseason poll. They have won the Summit League tournament 5 times in the past 6 seasons. 8 of the 9 starting field positions are returning from last year, including all 5 All-League selections. The returning players are headlined by pitcher and Summit League tournament MVP, Krista Menke. Summit League play begins on March 21st. The MSU Moorhead men's basketball team is still getting national recognition even after a tough defeat against Augustana College. Despite last week's loss to the #2 ranked team in Division II basketball, the Dragons are still ranked #9. Augustana is the only other Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference team to be ranked in the top 25. Last week, Augustana beat the Dragons 97-80. Bouncing balls, buzzers, and screaming fans are usually heard at MSUM's basketball games. After 8 years of silence, music has been brought back to the Dragon Athletics.
With the help from MSUM's Monty Grise, the music department has worked out a system that benefits the musicians. Finally, the beat of the drum and the ring of the trumpets is back in Nemzik.
I was hired 3 years ago as the director of bands, and one of the things we wanted to do was create this pep band and get it into a situation that existed year after year. Now I think we have a really strong system, and the band's really well supported, and they feel good about being here, and so I'm really happy about the fact that we can actually do it.
The musicians are also liking the new direction MSUM has taken towards Dragon Athletics with the revival of the pep band.
First time we've had a pep band in 8 years at MSUM, and it's the first paid pep band we have. And there's 25 paid members, and that's all based on auditions. And then anybody can come up and play if they want to.
What I like most about pep band is it actually brings more of a community to the sporting events. Like, I don't think the artistic students get around to going to this, so it really brings a backbone back to it. And I really like that it gets more people involved in it.
After a few games under their belt, the musicians are having fun bringing a new atmosphere to the court. Here, these students are combining passion for their instruments with sports.
I think that music is what's missing. I think it really brings in that college element. You always see like other colleges have marching bands at places, and it's really cool that we can bring our own music department in here to play with the athletic department.
With photographer Jared Schumacher, I'm Betsy Harmson, Campus News.
The band is open to all MSUM wind and brass playing students.
It's crazy how after 8 years, the pep band's just coming back to MSUM.
I know, I think they definitely get the students in the crowd pumped up.
Well, thanks, Shaylee. One MSUM alum walks across the stage at graduation and starts writing his script for the future.
I met with one local rapper who hopes music starts his life after college on the right note. Lights, camera, action.
We stay grinding, throwing hands up in the air, we stay flying.
Eddie Murph may be filming the music video to his newest song, but music is nothing new to him.
Money makes the world go round, that's what the people say.
Music has always been something I really enjoy doing. has always been a part of me.
All the rappers losing steam. My music's so nice, my lines stay clean.
With flashing strobe lights, background dancers, and fog, this accounting major raps the very own lyrics he writes.
It's kind of weird, but I get my inspirations from weird places. I mean, this song, I think I was thinking about airplanes when I was writing it.
This isn't his first time in the spotlight. Releasing his first music video, Get Your Shine On, filmed on MSUM's campus and directed as a school project in December 2012 by Juan Reyes.
That looks cool. It's different just hearing just a song, you know, and listening to it on the radio or something like that, but actually I like to see like a performance behind it and everything. It's always, you know, a lot of fun.
Big picture, I'm going mainstream.
I don't define the success as being on TV with a lot of money or anything. I just want to be successful to be able to put my music out so people can enjoy it.
Eddie's friends say they do enjoy the music videos, which allows them to express their passion for dancing.
It's one thing that I'm happy when I'm doing. I don't think about anything. It's a work of art, and just being able to do amazing stuff with your buddy is just beautiful.
While others are just happy to support and be in their first music video.
I was kind of excited, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really happy, and then I got here, I was like, whoa, this is really a music video.
Eddie says his performance might as well have an encore because he isn't closing the curtains anytime soon.
I could be 80 years old and be sitting in my chair and recording my video.
Eddie's shoot may come to an end, but he says he hopes his song is a start to encourage others to make their dreams come true too.
Make it clap, make it clap.
Ariana Babcock, Too Easy, Campus News. The music video will be released on YouTube near the end of February. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with a look at MSUM's pep band.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.